Yeah, I hope that you hearing me. This is the future, all about cybersecurity. Talking about the hackers, I'm just trying to warn you. From the one and only legend, the cyber informer. Hey, yeah, this is the cyber reformer. This is the cyber reformer. Let's go.
It's time for the Cybersecurity Business Connect and Protect Central Coast how-to video. I'm Michael Trimblett, the Cyber Informer, and today we'll be talking about password managers. The use of a password manager is essential to keeping track of your passwords so you can conform to password best practices. This video will show you my choice of password manager and how to use it. Let's go. This will be the final video in the password series. As mentioned multiple times in the preceding videos, the use of a password manager is essential to keeping track of your 16 or more character random passwords. At time of recording, there are 3 password managers I recommend, each with their pros and cons. These are the password managers I've used and recommend, each have their pros and cons. LastPass is considered to be the best password manager, but it comes at a price. Bitwarden is free, open source, offers the ability to host your own password database, but it is not as polished as LastPass. The Microsoft Authenticator app on your phone, which we'll be talking about in the next how-to series on multi-factor authentication, also doubles as a password manager. I like it as it integrates directly with Microsoft Edge on the PC and is the easiest to set up, but it is very limited in features. So how safe are these password managers? What I look for in a password manager are independent security audits. Have external security experts audited the code? How often have you looked at a problem and not been able to see any flaws in your solution? Then when someone else looks at your solution, they find problems with it. This is what independent security audits do. They look at the code, find the flaws, and give recommendations on how to fix it. The results should be publicly accessible and not hard to find. SOC 2 Type 2 and SOC 3 are examples of third-party security audits security software can gain certification in. Does the product conform to different security standards around the world? There are some very stringent standards around the world which will give a good indication as to whether or not your password manager is secure or not. Standards such as Europe's GDPR and Privacy Shield, and in the United States, CCPA and HIPAA. If the password manager conforms to these standards, it is likely a quality product. Does it participate in a bug bounty program? A bug bounty program is what it sounds like. If you find a bug in the software, you can submit it for a paid reward. HackerOne is the most well-known and respected bug bounty organization, which has paid out over $100 million in bug bounties from a wide range of participating organizations. Does it use zero-knowledge encryption or trust no one encryption? This is another way to say it uses end-to-end encryption. This means that the company that hosts your passwords cannot see your passwords. Is the code open source or closed source? Open source means that the code they use is published somewhere, usually on GitHub, where anyone can look at it and audit the code if they knew what they were looking at. This gives the additional assurance that any claims to privacy can be confirmed by anyone, not just the people inside the business. Let's see how these password managers stack up to this scrutiny. Here's the results. For the independent audit, LastPass claims to have one, but it is not published anywhere, so we can't verify this. Microsoft doesn't mention it anywhere. Bitwarden has 2, and both are published. Security standards certified. LastPass has SOC Type 2 and SOC 3 certifications, along with Germany's C5 certification. It also has privacy certifications through Swiss Privacy Shield and Trust E-verified privacy frameworks. Bitwarden has SOC Type 2 and SOC 3 compliance, California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, HIPAA, and GDPR compliance through US Privacy Shield. Microsoft Authenticator has no published compliance certifications. Bug bounty participation. Both LastPass and Bitwarden are listed on HackerOne's bug bounty programs. Microsoft Authenticator is not and does not publish any bug bounty participation for this product. Zero-knowledge encryption. Both LastPass and Bitwarden publish this as a feature. Microsoft Authenticator does not publish this information. Open source code. Both LastPass and Microsoft Authenticator do not publish their source code. Bitwarden does publish their source code on GitHub. As I trust Bitwarden the most, we'll take a deeper look at how to set up and use Bitwarden. It is not the most polished, but if you want a polished product, have a look at LastPass, but expect to pay for it. In this video, we'll step through how to install Bitwarden in the browser on an Android phone and iPhone, how to create an account, how to save a password, how to autofill your password in a saved website. We'll also look at some of the features including syncing data across all devices and secure password generation. Bitwarden has an app for both Android and iPhone. To install an iPhone, go into the App Store, type in Bitwarden into the search, select Bitwarden Password Manager, and then hit the Get or Download button. You'll then see the Bitwarden icon on the main screen. To install it on Android, go into Google Play. Again, search for Bitwarden in the search bar. Select Bitwarden Password Manager, then tap Install. Once that's completed, you'll see that it will not be on the main screen, so what we'll do is put the icon on the main screen. And we're done. I'll show you how to install Bitwarden on both Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome. First of all, Microsoft Edge. We go to the three dots button in the top right. We go down and click on Extensions. We click on Get Extensions for Microsoft Edge. We type in Bitwarden. We find Bitwarden here and click on the Get button. We add the extension. We'll get this update screen, but up in the top right we can see we have the Bitwarden shield. Let's have a look at Google Chrome now. So in Google Chrome, we can't just go to a menu. We have to go to the Google Chrome web store. And that's located at chrome.google.com/webstore. In the Search the Store box, let's type in Bitwarden. We'll see Bitwarden here. We'll click onto it and then click on Add to Chrome. We'll click Add Extension. And just like we saw in Edge, it gives you the splash screen. Under the jigsaw piece at the top right hand side here, we can see Bitwarden has installed. We can hit the little pin button, which will keep the Bitwarden icon on the main screen of Chrome. So that's how we install Bitwarden on both Edge and on Google Chrome. Okay, now we know how to install Bitwarden on Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge. Let's create a brand new account for Bitwarden. To do that, click on the Bitwarden icon in the top and click Create Account. We'll type in your email address and we'll create a master password. And we'll retype the master password. Optionally, you can put in a password hint. Then we can tick the checkbox acknowledging the terms of service. Hit the submit button, and we've now created an account. Really easy. So what we need to do now is enter your username and password back in again. And then click the login button. We've now successfully created an account that we can now log into on our mobile phones as well. So let's see how we do that now. We can now log into the mobile devices using the account we just created. The process is the same on both iPhone and Android. So we open the Bitwarden app, then tap on Login. We'll type the email address and master password that you created in the web browser version, then tap on Login. On iPhone, it'll pop up two messages. Tap OK, got it, and then tap on Allow. Over on Android, we'll open up the Bitwarden app, tap on Login. We'll enter in our email address and our master password as we set up in the browser version. Then we'll tap on Login. On Android, we don't get the additional messages popping up on the screen. It just works. Okay, now we have Bitwarden installed on the web browsers and on our phones. Let's now see how we use it. Let's log into Google. Now once we're at the login screen for Google, we don't actually enter our username and password in there. What we'll do is enter it into the Bitwarden Vault. To do that, we click on the Bitwarden icon. We press the plus sign in the top right. You'll see it's detected us at accounts.google.com, which is the website that we're on and we're trying to log into. Now we'll enter our username and our password into Bitwarden. We'll hit the save button. That now puts it into the Bitwarden Vault. So if you click on that entry, it will now populate it in the web page. It has automatically entered the password for us, so we click Next. Now we're logged in. So we see on the Bitwarden shield we have a number 1. That means that we have one username and password stored for this website. When we click on it, we can then see that it's for bitwarden@loyalit.com.au, which is the account we just entered in. What happens if we want to change a password? Google is not great for this demonstration, so we'll go to reddit.com. Each website is programmed differently, and we'll go to reddit.com just because it showcases this feature a bit more easily than what Google does. So we can see we're logged in as a CyberInformer37 on Reddit. What we'll do is change our password there. So if we go in here, we can say select change password, and we'll get Bitwarden to enter in our old password for us automatically. It'll put it into the new password field as well. We'll just delete those out. But what if we needed to create a password that's ultra secure? Bitwarden can handle that for us. So if we click on the Bitwarden icon, we can click on generator. And what we can do is then select our options. So we want to make it at least 16 characters long, capitals, lowercase, numbers, and special characters. You can see at the top here, it's created a random password for us. We can then just regenerate to our heart's content until we find one that we like. And we can copy that password. And now we can use it on this website if we just paste it in there and save. Now once we've gone to save it, we can see up the top it says, do you want to update this password in Bitwarden? We'll click yes, update now. And that will now save our new password into the Bitwarden vault without us having to re-enter it again into Bitwarden. We can now go in and check all of our passwords within the Bitwarden vault. We can go to my vault and we can see everything in here. We can see my Google account that we just created, and we can see the Reddit account in here. We have other options that we can create as well. We can put in credit card details, other identity information, and we can also create secure notes. Let's have a look at the secure note. Test for mobile devices. And we'll put in a note. And we'll save it. Test for mobile devices. So what we'll do is we'll go back to our mobile device and have a look and see whether this information has synced to it. Before we do that, we can see that we have a number of items in here. We have 2 logins and a secure note, and here they are listed on the bottom half of the screen. Now we have 2 passwords saved and a secure note. Let's go back to our mobile devices to see if all items have synchronized. In the next section, we talk about manually refreshing the vault. On iOS or iPhone, we need to manually enable this function. To do that, we press Settings, then on Sync, then we hit the button to enable sync on refresh. Tap on Close, then on My Vault, and as you can see, we can pull down to refresh. To save some time, I've already logged into the Bitwarden vaults on each of the phones. Now you can see there that we have the 3 items that we've used before. Now what I like to do as part of the initial login to these screens is actually just refresh the vault by swiping down. That'll then just make sure that you have the most recent versions on each of the devices. So as we remember, we set up a test for mobile devices note. So if we go into that, there's the contents of the secure note. What we'll do is just close out of here, and then we'll have a look at the Reddit login. We tap onto there, and we can then press on the little eye icon, and that should reveal our password. There it is. There's our really secure random password that we had. So what we can now see is that it has updated across all devices. This is really handy feature. So you can then keep the most updated password on all of your devices, whether it be on your web browser or on your mobile phones. Note that if you have a long and complex master password, which you should, you can use biometrics or a PIN to unlock your vault to make it more convenient. But remember, convenience is the enemy of security, so use these options at your own risk. Bitwarden can enter your usernames and passwords in automatically. To do this, we'll click on the Bitwarden shield, click on our login for Reddit. You'll see that it automatically populates the username and password. When we click login, it'll log us into the website. There is a feature on the mobile devices called autofill. Now what that will do is detect when there's a username and password ready to be entered in, and it will give you a prompt for entering the password for that particular site. This part of the demonstration will show you how to set up autofill on each of the mobile devices. To make this a bit more streamlined, I've already set up biometric authentication on both of the devices. On the iPhone, if we click Settings and go to Password Autofill, it will tell us how we need to enable autofill on the iPhone. We exit out and we go to Settings. We tap on Passwords. We authenticate using Face ID or your PIN. Tap on Autofill Passwords and then enable the option for autofill passwords. Tap on Bitwarden and then enter your Bitwarden master password. In this case, I use Face ID to authenticate. Autofill is now activated, and now we can exit out of all of the screens and go back into Bitwarden. On Android, we'll go and tap on Settings, Autofill Services, tap on the first option, Autofill Services, select Bitwarden, tap OK, then tap on Use Accessibility, tap on Install Services, tap on Bitwarden, tap on, tap OK, and then back, and then back, and then back again. Then tap on Use Drawer Over, tap Allow Permission, and then go back and back. Then we can go back into My Vault. Let's demonstrate how this works on iPhone. We'll go into the Reddit login screen. We'll tap on where the username is and then tap on Passwords above the keyboard. Select Bitwarden. We then authenticate with our master password or our Face ID. Tap on our Reddit login. It enters all the details in and hit login. We're now logged in and we can see that we're now in as the Cyber Informer. Let's see how we do this over on Android. So we'll go into Google Chrome, we'll tap on the username and we'll see that there's a bubble that says autofill with Bitwarden. We tap on that, it brings up Bitwarden, we can then tap on our Reddit login. All the information will be entered in. We can then hit login and we're now logged in. Again, we can see that we're in as the Cyber Informer. To enable autofill in the browser version of Bitwarden, click on the Bitwarden browser extension icon, click on Settings, scroll down to Options, and then tick the box next to Autofill on Page Load. This warns you that this is currently an experimental feature and to use at your own risk. Now that it's enabled, we can try the autofill on the login screen of Reddit. Your username and password is autofilled, so you just have to press the login button. And now we're logged in as the Cyber Informer 37. Let's have a look at some of the vault locking options within Bitwarden. So if we go into Bitwarden, we go down to Settings, you can see in there that we have the lock option, but above that it says Vault Timeout. It's set to on browser restart, but you can see in there it does it immediately, 1 minute, 5 minutes, etc. You can do it on system locks or never. Now I would highly recommend that you do not use never, because anyone who sits down at your computer and opens up the browser will then be able to go into Bitwarden and see all of your passwords. That is just not secure. For this example, we'll use on browser restart. Okay, so now that we've opened back up Microsoft Edge, we can see that the vault is locked, indicated by the little red padlock that's on the vault. To unlock it, we click onto it and we'll type in our master password. When we do that, we can now see all of our details again. So it's as simple as that. So that really just goes to show that you need to make a really strong master password, and also make sure that you set your settings to lock your vault after a certain period of time. That concludes our demonstration on how to set up and use Bitwarden on both a PC and on mobile devices. I use Bitwarden to manage all of my passwords. I have absolutely no idea what the majority of my passwords are, and that's a good thing. If you can't remember your passwords, it means they are random and different for each website. The one password that I remember is my master password. So what did we learn? We learned how to determine what is a good password manager program. I demonstrated my favorite password manager, Bitwarden. We understand it is only as secure as your master password and lock settings. If you don't know your passwords, it's because you have long random passwords, which means you're doing passwords right. Thank you for joining me for a look at password managers and my favourite, Bitwarden. Don't forget you can contact me via email, Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. Until next time, stay safe online.
Oh yeah, this is the Cyber Informer. Hackers, you going down like, oh yeah, this is the Cyber Informer. Hackers, you going down, yeah.